Don't you just miss traveling? Well, I do, especially as a coordinator. We've done different destination weddings in different places like Palasin, Bohol, Palawan, even Vegan, and Bataan. So, with everything that's happening in our country, I hope this is going to be lifted soon, and then we can do destination weddings again. So, while waiting, this episode of Tuesday Trade Tips will revolve around destination weddings. Here are the top 10 things to remember when doing destination weddings. This is Lee Kundan from Wins Events Management, and you're watching Tuesday Trade Tips.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me pressing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so bright, it made me swoon. Our love is like a summer's day, hot and endless in a magic way. Whenever I see you, all I can think is my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. My summer love. Been waiting for you, my love.
Before we continue, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and follow our different social media accounts, alright? So let's begin. First, do take note of the peak season and the off-peak season of the place. So if you're not very worried about the date of your wedding, be sure to know when is the peak season or the off-peak season of the resort or the hotel or the place where you're gonna hold your wedding day. Because if it's off-peak season, there will be less people. It's gonna be less crowded there. And then if it's also off-peak season, they would give you a more reasonable price for that one. However, if it's also off-peak season, you take note, some amenities may not be available because they might be renovating the place or something. So do check first with the hotel or the resort. Number 2, do take note that you should do buy and block, meaning if you buy your airplane tickets or you pay for your hotel accommodation for both you and your fiancé, family, and your guests, make sure it's you do it by buy and block, because the more you pay as a group, it's cheaper. Options. The third I do is for you to present options to your guests. If you can't afford the whole guests of your wedding to be in one main hotel where everything's gonna take place, then at least provide them some options in terms of nearby hotels that they can have their accommodations with. If you're in a beach, maybe nearby resorts, so that it won't be any hassle for them to go to the area where you have your main event. So provide your guest options. They will really appreciate it. For the fourth I do for destination weddings, you have to remember the reason and the season why you chose that wedding date. Alright? The reason why you're doing a destination wedding on this certain date is for your guests to enjoy and celebrate with you. However, if you're not aware of the season where your destination wedding will take place, and it happens during typhoon season or even very hot summer days, then I think you should reconsider, don't you think? Fifth I do, this is more for beach weddings, alright? So for couples who will have their beach weddings on the shore, it's best that you know when the high tide or low tide is. So it's more in the highs and lows of the tides, because of course if it's high tide, the water might engulf the area where you're gonna have your ceremony or reception, right? So it's better to know when is the best time to have your wedding. If you're going to have an outdoor destination wedding, it's best if you have a short veil, because it would be more manageable when it comes to the different winds and breezes that happens during the actual bridal march. For the seventh I do is you have to remember that even the suppliers have to at least be comfortable and have enough caring for the time that we're there at your beach wedding or wherever destination wedding you'll have. I remember when we were in Balisman, while we were not in villas, at least we were in air-conditioned dormitories. Even when in Bohol, we may not be in the main hotel, but we were given a transient house where it's also air-conditioned, and we were also given enough money for travel as well as food. For the 8th and crucial I do is you just have to double check, triple check, and if you have to do a quadruple check, please do. When it comes to the things you'll be needing before leaving for the airport, or you have everything already in your luggage, from the things that you'll be needing as a normal guest, as well as your wedding stuff. For the 9th I do is to make sure that you do have an accessible transportation for your guests, alright? And also for your suppliers as well. So when we were in Balasin, we had to make sure, we had to secure that the guests and even the suppliers have a van going around, because you know Balasin is an island, so they have their own vans there. So we already reserved some vans for the guests. That's also what happened in Tagaytay Highlands. We had a designated van for the guests as well, from to go from the cottage area to Madre de Dios. Alright? In Bohol, even if we don't have vans because we're in one big hotel, in B Hotel, the hotel staff was very kind enough to provide us carts for the guests, because it's a little bit far still to walk from the ceremony area to the reception area in Bohol. So they provided that for us. So even in Palawan, we had also our own van, which the hotel prepared for us. We're now down to our 10th I do for this episode. Okay, there's still part 2, don't forget. So for the 10th I do, it's really basic. I suggest you wear elegant flip-flops, or at least shoes that are not having those stilettos or high heels yet. Unless, of course, you're going to have a wedding on a platform or a cemented stage. Even for a wooden stage, if it has lines where your heels can get stuck, just be careful with that, alright? Thank you very much again for joining me in this episode of Tuesday 3 Tips. So don't forget, next week, we will still be discussing destination weddings. However, we'll go to the nitty-gritty of things, especially those that I've experienced personally. Alright? So, as much as I love destination weddings, there are a bit of a challenges when it comes to destination weddings, especially when it comes to logistics. Alright? So, I hope to see you next week. And again, please do not forget to subscribe, like, and follow our different social media accounts. Also, if you need coordinators for your event, and also if you need any party needs, I also do hosting. If you get our coordination, I can do free hosting for you. Alright? So, until next week, see you again for Tuesday 3 Tips. This is Liko Down from Means Events Management, Events Director, and let's create magic on your special day.